Welcome back again. You're still watching us here on Nile Cruise from Imhotep's Museum in Saara. Now, of course, as we've been talking more about the Cultural Museum and how to promote Egypt, there's a very interesting initiative. It's called Visit Badrashin Project. And we have a very significant guest who's going to talk to us more about this project and its importance. It's a 3-year project expected to be inaugurated in this upcoming October of 2021. To know more about it, I'd like to thank very much Tristan, project manager, for joining us here on Nile Cruise. Thank you very much, Tristan, for coming.
Thank you for welcoming me today.
Yeah, thank you. We understand you are from France, and France is where Jean-Philippe Blower came from, and,
yes.
and he had a significant role to play in
20 years, right?
Yeah.
In this work in Saara.
Promoting the history of Saqqara, and in having this museum that was first named after him before being renamed Imhotep Museum. So first of all, I wanted to ask you about how you were influenced by that great French engineer, an archaeologist.
Yes, well, to be honest, I discovered him when I discovered the museum, because I'm not an archaeologist. I come from the development field, so much more interesting in nowadays Egypt than in ancient Egypt. But then, well, of course, when I discovered this site, like Saara is by far my favorite site in Egypt.
That's very interesting. Tristan, tell us about Visit Badrashin Project, because we have not heard much about it. So it's an opportunity for you to tell the viewers all about the details of this project.
With pleasure. Okay, so Visit Badrashin is a development project. It's not a commercial project. We are not a touristic project. It's a development project that has been that is being financed by the European Union, by the delegation in Egypt, and it's being implemented by a consulting company, Egyptian, called North-South Consultants Exchange, and Markaz al-Buhuth al-Zira'i, like the ARC, the Agricultural Research Center from the Ministry of Agriculture. Mm-hmm. So we've been implementing together this project for the past 3 years, and so we've been working in 3 villages, Abu Sir, Saara, and Darshur. The main idea came from the observation that despite the fact that we have world-renowned touristic places, archaeological sites in the 3 villages, the villages themselves are still very poor and kind of excluded from the development of the rest of the capital, of Greater Cairo. And also, since for the past 10 years, tourism has really been up and down, and we thought that it would be interesting to develop an alternative kind of tourism that is more sustainable, that's what we call responsible tourism. So we are targeting. We are not targeting all the buses, like tour operators and buses that are coming only to visit the pyramids and are not going to stay in the area, just going to come back to their hotel in Cairo. We are targeting Egyptians living in Cairo who would like to discover the countryside around their town, around their city. We are targeting independent travelers, alternative tour operators, or the people who would like to have a different kind of experience when visiting Egypt.
So what will we see in Badrashin? I mean, what will be the most attractive sites?
Well, the beauty of it is that you always have the shade of the pyramids next to you. So you have those sceneries, the green of the palm grove, of the fields, and the sand and the pyramids. Like those contrasts of colors are just absolutely amazing. And so you can experience the agricultural life, you can discover the field, you can meet farmers, you can walk, which is something that's quite precious for us living in Egypt, cycle in the fields. You can, of course, visit the sites, have a walk in the desert. You can discover the local handicrafts, local food. So there's actually a lot that we've been trying to develop, because most people here maybe not or didn't know the value of the assets that they have. So our job has been to work with the local community to value those assets, to make them understand that this has potential, and we should protect our nature, our environment, our local traditions, our handicrafts.
Tristan, you're the project manager for this initiative or project, and tell us what has changed since 3 years. I'm sure that, I mean, you're almost towards the inauguration of this. So you're basically counting down of this project, 2 months to go. A journey of 3 years. I'm sure there's a lot that has changed. And tell us more about the people in these villages. I think you spoke about 3 villages. Tell us about how their lives has changed or will change with the development of this project.
Well, when we started the project, I think the idea even of rural tourism in the area was quite new. People were really focusing only on the cultural tourism and archaeological sites. So after 3 years, I really think that people understood that there is a potential. It means that there is a potential for them to also earn a better income from a different kind of tourists that is more responsible, more long-term, and direct contact between the local community and the people. Mm-hmm. There is also a better understanding, I think, that the area should be protected, that there is a lot to do when it comes also to water treatment, the garbage, and there are new initiatives coming up from the people that are really trying to do something. And for that, they will also need support from the government to make this area much cleaner and nicer, and it's really a must. And we have also, I think, a lot of businesses that emerged, especially in the handicrafts and rural food. We gathered all those projects on the website, and it's called visitbadrashin.com. It's in English and Arabic, and I think it's the first independent destination website that exists in Egypt, where you can find directly the numbers of all the guest houses, stables, local guides, restaurants, and you have maps, so you can really create your own tour for a day or 2, if you want to discover a different side of Badrashin, much more than only the pyramids. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it sounds, listening to you more and more, Tristan, that this is some sort of green tourism, if you will. I mean, it's going green. I mean, everything you said, it's
environment friendly,
yeah,
environmentally friendly.
Yeah. So, is that indeed one of your goals?
Yes, exactly. Responsible tourism is based on 3 main pillars. You have the economical pillar. Of course, we want people to make a better living. So it's business, it's tourism, okay? But you also have the social pillar, which means that we want it to be inclusive. That the money that comes with tourism doesn't stay in the hands of a few, but can go directly to the people who are working, who are living in the village. And we want it as well to be sustainable and environmentally friendly, which means that we are really working hard with everyone to develop the tours, walking tours in the field, trying to reduce the use of plastic as much as possible when we work with restaurants or when we organize events, encouraging cycling, horse riding, but with a fair treatment of animals. So it's a lot of things to work on.
Very much goes along with the oriental atmosphere that is found here in Saara. Yeah. Once this project is inaugurated in upcoming October, do you have plans to develop further areas in Egypt?
Well, we still have some events to come before the end of the project. We have a big event like a country fair. Those are big markets that we organize every one. We wanted to organize it every 2 months, but because of Corona, we had a big stop. But finally, we are back. So we will have this last big event in Saara in October. And we will have also an exhibition, a photo exhibition here at the museum that will show pictures of Badrashin, of the villages, to the guests that are coming to visit the site and the museum, so that they discover a little bit more about the villages that surround this beautiful place. Mm-hmm. So we hope that this will enable the project to sustain, and that people will keep visiting the websites, coming to Badrashin, that we managed to launch that dynamic. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, yes, there is a huge potential for many places in Egypt. I think Fayoum is already a success story, especially Tunis village, and it was one of the inspiration for this project. Because as a company, we've been working in Fayoum for 20 years. So I hope that there are other places that have a very beautiful potential. I'm thinking, of course, in Said, in Luxor, Aswan, but there are already projects going on, but also more alternative parts of Egypt. Could think of Foua, Kafr el-Sheikh, for example, which has a huge potential.
Kafr el-Sheikh?
Yes. Yeah. It has a huge potential, but of course, I mean, a lot to be done, but those places could really be like a great opportunity for Egypt to develop alternative kinds of tourism.
Speaking of Corona, and you mentioned it, and I wanted to ask you something about it. I mean, you were able to get your project on time, I understand, despite the challenges posed by the coronavirus pandemic. Is that correct?
Not that Egypt was closed down like the rest of the world.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I wanted to know, I mean, how challenging was it? How you were able to defeat that challenge, and where do you see things going from here?
It's been a real challenge, to be honest. We had to switch all our activities online, and like the team has done an amazing job. Like our team from Badrashin, who are trainers, who are working with all the entrepreneurs, the women working in NGOs, did an amazing job to teach them how to use Zoom, how to get trainings online. So everything we could do online, we switched to online trainings. And then we slowly came back to the field because some people don't have access even to the internet here. So we came back to technical trainings in the field, and we had to apply of course, all the security measures, mask wearing, gel. We did a campaign also to encourage awareness on coronavirus during the outbreak of the pandemic. So yes, it has been a challenge, and we managed to get a 1-year extension of the project from the European Union. Otherwise, it should have stopped a year ago in the middle of the pandemic. So at least now we are able, for the past few months, to go back to the field and do some last.
Thank you very much, Tristan, and good luck, of course. And it's always lovely to see support by other countries and the European Union to develop Egypt for non-commercial reasons. Tristan, project manager for Visit Badrashin project, thank you very much for joining us
tonight.
Thank
you so much.
We commend your efforts. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Dear viewers, Yasmin and I will be back shortly here on Nile Cruise. Please don't go away.